So Brittney Griner returned to the WNBA for her tip-off game, and it didn't sell out, and the coach was angry about it. Why we ain't sell out the game? Why you think, coach? Why do you think? Don't nobody watch WNBA. I keep trying to tell y'all. Listen, it was 10,000 people there, which was actually an okay night for them in a 20,000 arena to see it. And this is what they had to say about it.
How was it not a sellout? But I mean, it was great, but like honestly, come on, LA. Like we didn't sell out the arena for BG. Like I expected more, to be honest, right? Like it was great, it was loud, but how was it not a sellout? How was it not a sellout?
Like, listen, you can't guilt trip us into watching women's basketball. It's just not that entertaining. Until you start dunking like Brian, we are not really going to care. We just started tuning in because of the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark drama that was going on. And the numbers for that game was astronomical. So take a win when you can get it. This was a win. Your numbers, my man about to point it out in a minute. The numbers for this game are normally 5,000 people. It was 10,000. Take the win. But you're not going to guilt trip me into watching this. We was rooting for Brittney Griners to come home because of the astronomical number of 10 years that they gave her for weed. And we like, for weed? What? They about to? So we was glad to see her come home. But now that she's home, I still don't want to see her hoop. I'm sorry. I just don't.
So you can there's no one up here, right? There's no one up here in the rafters at all. Pretty much everyone is crammed down in the lower part of the box. Like, there's nobody. It's 10,000 people in a 20,000 stadium that actually went to this thing. Wow. Welcome back, BG. Like, this is so pathetic. And the fact that they're complaining, I can't believe you didn't sell out. Spoiler alert, people don't care about the WNBA. Yeah, she's back. You traded an arms dealer for her. It's sad and it's pathetic that this is the crowd that shows up and they have the audacity to say, why wasn't it a sellout? You know what? Let's go back.
Actually, that was a pretty big crowd for the Sparks. They averaged 5,500 fans. They got 10,000. They doubled the amount of fans.
Yes.
They overachieved.
This is the last year, right? Last year's average attendance. Seattle Storm, great, 10,000 average. Half a stadium full. Congratulations. The Phoenix Mercury, not even 8,000. Minnesota Lynx, 7,500. Sparks all the way down at 5,000. People don't go to these games.
And so, like my man just pointed out, this is a win. It's normally half the amount of people that were there that night to watch this game that BG showed up. It's normally 5,000 people there. This night it was 10,000 people there. That's a win. And you mad that it didn't sell out? You should be happy that anybody showed up to watch this game at all. It's the WNBA. We don't care. I keep trying to tell it. Listen, I know y'all think that we should care because it's women's basketball and because y'all are women and y'all have this feminist movement that we just should care. We don't. We don't. It's the truth. Women don't. Women don't want to tune in and watch this game. They go on their feminist rants and talk about how people don't support it, and they don't watch the game or show up to it. And it doesn't help that they tried to attach this alphabet agenda to this whole situation by asking her this question. And in her defense, they asked her the question and she just answered. But I'm saying her answer is just like, what?
You're going to have a tremendous platform, but where is that going to be on your radar in terms of advocating for, athletes, all athletes, transgender athletes to be able to play?
Oh, I mean, that ranks high on the list of things that I'll be fighting for and speaking up against. Everyone deserves the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats and feel safe and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are.
He asked you about transgenders competing in women's basketball, and you took that and went to, there's a threat on LGBTQ members' lives? Where do y'all be creating these illusions of life-threatening situations from? And then she says everybody deserves the right to play. I don't think all women feel like that. They didn't say that when Leah Thompson was breaking all them records. The other women didn't agree then.
Or like it's just all eyes on them. I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason. So I definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed for sure.
Did you think it was a crime to have weed in Russia? Because they did. That's what Russia thought it was, and that's what they said it was. And you was gonna be there for 10 years unless we came and got you, in case you forgot. But then this is what the beautiful statement that Charleston White had to say about what she just said here.
She had a press conference, and they asked her, and it was like, what do you think about, transgenders participating in women's sports? And she said she was an advocate for it. Like, she believed that they should be able to participate in women's sports.
I believe she should have been in the male prison in Russia then.
That's what I said.
If she believed transgender women, then she should have been in the male prison in Russia.
Bing, bang, boom. Huh? You couldn't put it no better. Wrap it up with a bow and give it to somebody for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You talking about how you believe it's a crime that men can't compete in women's sports, but if we apply this same mind thought to your situation and they put you in a man prison in Russia, I wonder how differently you would have felt about that. I wonder. It was a young black woman on Dr. Phil years ago, and she hated black people, and she identified as a white woman.
I'm white. I'm a Caucasian because everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy.
The problem with my sister Treasure is that she feels like she's white. My sister isn't white. My sister is African American.
Black people are gang members. I don't have nothing to do with them. They're criminal and they're thugs.
I hate to say Treasure's crazy, but she acts crazy.
His words, not mine, but let me play you what the therapist had to say about her condition.
You lied to her about who she was, and then when you told her that she was something else, it caused a complete identity crisis.
What happened was the black mother had a white husband when the kids were little. She told them that this was their biological father. When the husband passed, she then told the kids the truth, that he was their father was black. The daughter had a full identity crisis, as the therapist said here. And I think you can see that happening in today's society, and it's going to get worse because people are actively convincing kids or pushing them towards the idea that they are something other than what they are. And so no matter what people want to call themselves, the truth remains to be what it is. And you can see that when men play in women's sports, they dominate because they're just physically built different. Brittney Griner would have saw that if she had been placed in a male prison. And I'm sure she wouldn't have been advocating for that law to be changed then, especially since she has a woman as a wife. So, but back to the original topic, you can't guilt trip us into watching this. Like, you can't guilt trip me into watching it just because Brittney Griner came home. You can't guilt trip me into watching it just because an LGBTQ stance has been taken by the WNBA. You have to get people to watch it by making it be entertaining. That is the bottom line. And what I'm trying to say is that women's sports are just less entertaining than men's sports. It's not rocket science. Men are just a bit more athletic, and it shows on the court product. And until you try to find some way to make WNBA more entertaining, people are going to continue to not watch it, and that's women included. And without viewers, there's no money. So without money, we don't want to hear you crying about the pay gap, because the WNBA cannot pay you what is not there.
LeBron get $34 million, Schuberg get $215,000. What's wrong with that picture? Nothing, because ain't nobody watching the WNBA. At some point, if y'all was to get 7 million views, might we have something to talk about? Other than that, ain't nobody looking-hooing and peek-a-booing, okay? We not looking. We don't care. Ain't nobody getting dunked on in the WNBA. Until you start dunking like Bron, we don't care.
Lisa Leslie said when she was on LeBron's show that the players should donate parts of their salary so that the women could be paid better. The NBA already subsidizes the WNBA because it doesn't turn a profit every year. So they already are giving it millions of dollars every year to keep it afloat. And I'm not saying nobody wants to watch this. A few people do, but the majority of people vastly prefer to watch men play basketball than they do to watch women play basketball. It is what it is. Coach was upset about not being a bunch of people in the stadium. Be happy for the win. You doubled the amount of people that were there last time in this game. Be happy that you're growing a little bit. That's all I can tell you about that. But until you start dunking like Brian, we don't care. This your boy P. Camp. I'm out of here.